Everything that the prophets brought, and you look at any holy book, everyone has to look to their own holy books, is based on energy. If, like in math, when you have fractions and you're trying to add something different, when you're trying to come to understand Judaism, Christianity, Islam, or other faiths, you have to have a common denominator, because there are fractions that you can't add like that. So the common denominator in all religions is energy. So if you take the prophetic teaching and say, I'm going to stop with all this, dogma, so that we find differences and argue about this word, that word, especially when you're arguing in words that you don't even know. If you talk to us about other holy books in English, it's ridiculous. It wasn't written in English, it was actually written in Aramaic. So there's not going to be any understanding there, but where we come into an understanding is energy. What practices do you do to build your energy? What practices do you do to rid yourself of negative energy? How do you defend and fight against negative energy? Explain that to me, then look into the holy books. So everything that the prophets gave to us should be based on energy. So when you hold a staff and a cane, that all men should walk with a cane when appropriate, and you can't take it to your office. But why? Is because your 2 feet require a grounding. And if you don't ground, energy will come up and hurt your back. So the asa is a grounding. To push the negative energy from your hand will ground the energy down. Now we know that, and all electricians know that you have to have a grounding wire. They even put it on houses in case you get hit by electricity. They put a grounding wire into the earth. So then you don't think God sent us with grounding instructions, or we lost that? They give us some plastic shoes and all this ridiculous stuff, when you actually ground as soon as you touch the earth. As soon as your feet touch the grass, your whole body grounds, recalibrates all of your atomic structure in the body, just by touching what God has created. So the cane is a grounding. For all the negative attacks that are coming, we're taking the positive from the heavens, all the negativity from the earth, and instead of coming into the belly and into the back, then you're going to push it out with the cane. Just the presence of the cane, inshallah. And every prophetic reality that was brought, inshallah. Men cut their hair for energy. Women grow their hair for energy. Completely different. Someone asks, the Sikhs, they have their long hair, long hair. All of the prophetic teaching is that the longer your hair for a man, the more depleted your energy will be. And for women, the honor is in the length of the hair, not cutting it short, because that was a form of punishment. When they did something wrong, they would cut their hair, and that was a sign of punishment. But in farming, we know that for men, it's the reality of pruning. So when you have fruit trees, they teach you, look, this tree has too many branches. How is it going to have any fruit when it has to go through all these different branches just to put out a fruit? It won't. Then there's all these branches that will never reach the sun, so cut them out. So they have a whole system in Allah's creation, because Allah created this nature. These farmers and people whom have worked in nature understood and learned, like guides from nature, they understood, those have to be pruned. Well then my life has to be pruned. Things that are not necessary for me, wasting all my energy. At the end I feel like I haven't done anything, because I put all my energy into 500 different things. Where life may come with a natural pruning, where everything gets cut out and you got two sticks that's left. So these are all the wisdom of those whom God guides. If they haven't been guided and they're now going to try to meditate and contemplate, then you have to realize that everybody's life needs a pruning. You have too many things that are distracting in your life, then prune it, cut it out, so that you can focus on the core issues in life that will build you and build what you're trying to achieve. People come with 100 different ideas for business. There's no difference between dunya and akhirah. Those 100 ideas, as if you threw water in 100 different directions, nothing will grow. But you come back and say, "No, I got one idea, and I'm going to put all my focus on that." Then you do that. If it didn't work, then you come back with another one idea, not 10 ideas. Because then you're going to throw your water in 10 places in the garden and nothing will grow. So everything from our physical life and our spiritual life is the same. Spiritual life too. The practice is very fine-tuned. I'm not going to go everywhere, I'm not going to read everything, I'm not going to do everything. I'm going to stick with this guide, stick with this system, stick with that connection until I achieve the satisfaction that I want within my heart. Otherwise you're diluted. And you can't dilute love. That's the most dangerous. That you just put your heart out for so many different people, and then you don't really love anyone to the level that's necessary for you to achieve that connection. You love everyone, but you love no one. And that's dangerous in spirituality. Who is it that you follow? Oh, I follow everyone. Well, then you love too many people. And that's not the love that's going to achieve. You got one magnet. If that magnet is not focused on Prophet ﷺ, and you divert the magnet into 10 directions, what happens? There's nothing actually truly connecting, because it's now going in different directions. So everything is going to teach us, from magnetism to pruning to everything. The guides have a whole system in which we have to understand. For our connection to the heavens, it's magnetism. Study magnetism. For the things we have in life and things we want in life is pruning and farming. So Allah says we teach you on the horizon and we teach within ourselves, inshaAllah.